Hi there, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Helt with osada.com, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about aromatherapy in preparation for a class that I'm teaching on Saturday. I always like to do some warm-up videos ahead of time, and what I thought I'd talk about today is doing aromatherapy inexpensively. Using plant aromatics can seem prohibitive to some people because those little brown bottles of essential oils can get quite expensive depending on where you're getting them and whom you may be getting them from. And we don't need them to do aromatherapy, to play around with plant aromatics, which, strictly speaking, is really just chemistry, right? So plants and mushrooms make compounds that evaporate at ambient temperature. These are referred to as volatile oils. Volatile means something that evaporates at ambient temperature, room temperature, or outdoor temperature. And we can smell them. So when, for instance, you're walking in the woods and you're smelling that earthy scent, that is, or those are volatile oils that fungi are emitting. Octanol is a very characteristic one, that kind of earthy, fungusy scent you might smell if you're lucky enough to live near the woods and be able to walk through it. Or if you're walking through pine trees or fir trees, you're also getting pinene and other chemicals that those trees are producing. So simply being outside can be a great way to do aromatherapy. And it is chemistry. We're breathing in those chemicals. They are binding to the scent receptors in our nose and signaling directly to the brain. This is how we're detecting that scent and characterizing a particular scent, whether it's something we find pleasant or unpleasant or even just neutral. And it's not just the smelling that is the therapeutic part. Yes, smelling a pleasant scent can be great for stress, but there's signaling going on in the brain when we're smelling those scents. They're communicating with the limbic system, the lizard brain, and perhaps relaxing us or stimulating us or doing something else. Keep in mind, though, when we're breathing in those aromatics, whether it's in the woods or in some of the ways I'm going to talk about doing aromatherapy on the cheap, they're also getting into our bloodstream through the mucous membrane of our nose as we breathe them in. You don't have to be drinking essential oils, which I don't recommend, in your water day to day to get the benefit. Just breathing in those chemicals has a physiological response, or triggers a physiological response in the body through circulation, carrying those around the body, and again through the signaling that's going on in the brain. So enough nerding out. How to do aromatherapy without breaking the bank. There are a wide range of things you can do aside from being outside amongst aromatic plants. That's not an option for everybody depending on where you may live. You can do something really simple at home, like growing a pot of lemon balm on your windowsill, or a pot of lavender, or one that I've really gotten into lately is geranium, pelargonium, scientifically speaking, in terms of the genus. So scented geraniums. I'm feeling this compulsion to start collecting scented geraniums. So rose geranium, for instance. And then what you can do is just go stick your face in that pot and take some sniffs periodically. Or if you, say, work away from home, break off a leaf and bring that with you to work. Stick it in your pocket. Very easy aromatherapy. You don't need isolated, purified bottles of essential oils to do this. Not that I have anything against those little brown bottles. I have way too many of them. But there are other ways to do aromatherapy. You can also just have a bit of, aromatic plant around to sniff. So here's some raw, fresh ginger rhizome. And you can smell it. I can smell it a little bit just holding it up. But again, a way to go with this is to break a piece off, and there's going to be that very pungent, and in the case of fresh ginger, fresh green, stimulating and warming scent of ginger, which is great for mood and thought work and focus. So this is a lot cheaper than a bottle of ginger absolute or ginger critical carbon dioxide extract. You could even have an infused oil so this is rosemary in olive oil that's been sitting on my windowsill for not quite 2 weeks now. And it smells so good. I love rosemary. So you can learn how to make aromatic infused oils with plants with certain aromatic mushrooms, which is what I like to call aromatherapy. And it's much less expensive than going out and buying a bunch of purified essential oils. This Saturday, the 11th of September, I'm going to be teaching a 3-hour aromatherapy class, and I am going to get into detail on the different methods you can use to make infused oils. It's not too late to sign up. The link is associated with this video, but there's lots of recipes online in terms of making infused oils. And that could be another way to do aromatherapy. Now you can use this oil, say, as a body oil, or just smell it, blend other aromatics with it to make a perfume oil, whatever works for you. I actually like to use rosemary in particular medicinally, so not just smelling it and appreciating the scent, which is medicine, but I'll use that oil in particular as a rub for achy joints. So I have arthritis in my hand, and that oil makes it feel really good. Or you can use that rosemary oil as kind of a warm-up liniment if you're getting ready to go do a workout or some such. It can bring blood flow to your muscles. So again, that's a really inexpensive way to do aromatherapy. Another simple way and very pleasant way to do aromatherapy without those expensive little bottles is to have a cup of tea, right? Make an aromatic cup of tea. It's so simple, but sometimes we forget to do that. Maybe it's a little bit of tulsi, maybe it's chamomile, maybe it's lemon balm or some other mint. And what you can do is breathe it in. And of course sip it as well, and you're doing aromatherapy. You're getting the same benefits in response to those essential oils that you would get if you were diffusing your really expensive chamomile essential oil. So just some simple ways to do aromatherapy without going broke. That should be accessible to people. Yeah. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll be back with more aromatics videos. I'm going to talk about aromatherapy next. Be well.